It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, starting at verse 1, and it reads, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This scripture is a straight cut that the Lord has a particular people that he deals with, that he dwells amongst. Verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true, just like the Most High God is faithful and true. He's a man that he cannot lie. Verse 3, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity or the unbelief of them trouble thee that speak against thee, because you got persecution. That just, the whole vocab alone. I see why the elders call him no class too. This man had a bullhorn. Just because their unbelief of what we believe, that's what faith is. Hoping things not seen. Then you tell them what we believe, and they, oh no, you know what I mean? You can believe whatever you want in Babylon the Great. Why can't we believe what we want? For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. That goes for 2/3 of our nation. As well as the heathens, and especially, the red nation of Edom, who biblical nationality is Esau Edom, but who's basically called the so-called white man. Verse 5, Behold, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And that's how the Lord is visiting the earth right now. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 talks about the Lord will visit the earth that which he made. And how's he visiting it? By these different prophecies, by these different, plagues, which is the sword, famine, death, and destruction, which, are happening on a daily basis. We just had 3 tornadoes touch down in Cuyahoga County at the same time, though. That wasn't spiritual. Made me think of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm talking about? Verse 6, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Look at that Paris Olympics ritual being done right in your face with the blasphemy of the Last Supper and all those, alphabet people, And then when you go into that, the guy that basically was behind that idea was a Flaming Mo himself. Because at the end of the day, they're trying to cause a reaction. Right now, these people are ripe for the taking. They know people are stressed out. They know people are struggling. And any little thing can set people off. Verse 7, therefore saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. The Flaming Mo agenda. This disrespect to the Father and the Son, destruction of his holy creation by this red Hebrew Edomite, the so-called white man, with his different GMOs and his chemtrails, in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And we are those souls complaining continually. Scriptures talk about give his ear no rest. You're supposed to be chatting down this place every day, because if you are content or you don't see nothing wrong with this place, then you're more than likely a 2/3. And the Lord destroying 2/3. Verse 9, and therefore saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Verse 10, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And you got an ancient Egypt, but we have a modern day Egypt, because we're all in bondage to this place called America, Babylon the Great, which is the modern day Egypt. Verse 11, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. So you had ancient Egypt, which was visited by plagues from the Most High, and you got modern day Egypt that's being plagued right now. Look at what's all going on in Babylon the Great, aka America. Again, I keep speaking on the fact it was 3 tornadoes at once. And through the Spirit, I did a video because I read some information about that, you know what I mean? because I just so happened to be outside when the tornado was coming, and it was in our area. It was in like 3 different areas in Cuyahoga County, but one was in our area. The thing is, show you how spiritual it was. The east and the west. The east is more so where Jake stayed. The west is more so further east, Esau at. But east is more so where Jake at, the hood and shit. And then west, you got the hood, but then you got, Esau got the prime lands of west and east. But you got Jake and them burials and those hoods and all that. He took off like a motherfucking rocket. Anyhow, you got Jake and those burials and hoods. And all the power's out in a lot of places, in certain areas where Esau was at, the Lord knocked down homes. So it just made me see that the Lord is visiting Esau, Edom. Those curses are being lifted, because we without power, but like I said again, the Lord didn't really do nothing but fuck up the power. You get what I'm saying? And this is a time for revelation. You know what I mean? Like, they saying that they're actually fixing the most hardest impacted areas first. But if that's the case, then why would you start in our area and then stop? Why wouldn't you fully start the power up? Because this is being done on purpose. And that's just me speaking as a man. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, which is mourning right now, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fall through the blasting and hail with a fearful constellation. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Destruction to the world and them that dwell therein. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to called Loyim La Yahweh, La Hashem, Yahweh Shai, La Hashem. I'm going to say double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, teach and do rule well. I say peace and salutations to the Akim, across the 4 corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwath that listen and learning, Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, which appear like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. This is Brother Yawasop out of the G. Salakia. It's a force of habit. It's the Brother Yawasop. Coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shem Shah. And I tried to do this video yesterday. Yesterday was a quick testimony, but through the Spirit, I took it down because I had been kind of drinking, and after listening to it, because normally I don't listen to my videos, but the Lord put the Spirit on me to start listening to him. After listening to it, I didn't like it. So quick testimony, I had been drinking a little bit, so I was like, let me get something to eat, because I ain't got no power. But you still, like, the Lord blessed me with a gas stove, so I was able to fix my kids something while we still had light. The Spirit jumped on me early on in this truth when I actually, was able to get a job, and because I came into this truth homeless, and the Lord blessed me with a job. Certain brothers, was mentioning certain things, and the Spirit jumped on me to gather certain things. So in actuality, like, thought the water Yahweh Shem Shah, that I'm not in such a low predicament as some of these people. You know what I mean? Like, I got the means to do certain things because the Lord put the Spirit on me to prepare in certain kind of ways. Now, ultimately, the things you have is not going to save you. You know what I mean? But it's certain brothers that the Lord got the Spirit on them to be into, survival, this, or certain brothers, Spirit is to be in combat sports. That's for a reason. You know what I mean? Certain brothers in the spirit of outdoorsmanship. Certain brothers know how to work on cars. Skills like these things will be vital in the days to come, because we're going back to Mad Max days. Person that know how to defend themselves, a person know how to shoot a weapon, a person know how to hunt or track, a person know how to build a fire. Something simple as building a fire may get you, because people gonna follow people that know how to get things done in that day. You gotta remember, it's more followers in Babylon the Great than it is leaders. With that being said, so like I said, I forgot I ate me some ramen noodles too. I forgot, but then I was drinking, so I got hungry again, and I went and grabbed me something to eat. I was going to try and get something to eat, and I went up to Wings or Wingstop, and when I went up there, Uh, it was when I went in there, I should have called, but I didn't call. You know, because I'm right in the area. I could just stop back up there, and had enough time to order and sit in the lobby and whatnot. When I got up there, typically it's a guy that run the store. This guy wasn't there. It was 5 women, and I'm like, where the line at? Because you had like 3 different areas where people standing. I'm like, well, damn, what's the line? And the guy was like, well, I can't even tell you. He was like, I don't want to lie to you either. He was like, I'm like, well, damn, this shit seemed kind of chaotic. He was like, yeah, I've been here for like 20 minutes, and this is a DoorDash order. I'm like, damn. So when I look back there, I see it's like 5 females running around with their head cut off, with no organization and nothing like that. And a woman would be quick to be like, certain women, let me rephrase. Certain women would be quick to talk about how they don't need a man or whatnot, but a lot of women, you know, pretty much like it, it tends to take a man to actually have things running smoothly. Because when women tend to run shit, should be chaotic. Women are by the book, but shit be chaotic. You know what I mean? Like, and a perfect example of that was at that store yesterday. Like I said, yeah, I've never seen it like that as many times I've ordered from there. Anyhow, so I'm like, okay, fuck this. So I'm on Lee Road. I know brothers that's not familiar with it won't know, but it's like a main street in Cleveland, and it goes through different cities. But so I'm on Lee Road, and as I'm riding down, I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm about to give me another beer. You know what I mean? Like, fuck the food, I'm gonna give me a beer. So I went to go pull in this gas station, and I think it was called Fuel Races, if I'm not mistaken. And when I went to go pull up in there, this female is standing in front of the gas station with a sign, thick to death. And I'm thinking, I'm like, what the fuck is this broad on, trying to sell something? She like, no, she like, we don't fuck with this gas station. I'm like, what you mean? She gave me this flyer. She's like, basically, the police had came, because the owners are Palestinians, and basically the Palestinians said something about fuck, these niggas or something along the lines of that. So basically, words was exchanged. The police was called, and they said that pretty much they shot in the air while the police was there. So I say, huh? So then I went to go do something. So I went to go do something. I'm leaving anyway, and then there's a dude. He got like an M16 or AR-15 strapped to his chest. He looked like he military, but you could tell this a nigga. And he like, but I've seen him from somewhere before, so I was just like, damn, that's deep. So he like, oh yeah, boss man, King, we don't shop with them. So I'm like, first of all, brother, you can't tell me what I can and what I cannot do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just call me a king. You know what I'm saying? So then I'm like, but no, I wasn't interested in spending no money. So then he broke it down further. That's how I got the information about they basically shot in front of police and all that. But I think like somebody got, like Jake got fucked up over there or got killed, and they said fuck the niggas, and and then words was exchanged, and then police was called. So that's the first time of me hearing about Jake getting into it with the Palestinians, and I found it funny because the Palestinians are getting into it with those Israelis right now, but then now they're getting into it with actual real Jews. So this is the movement. It says New Era Cleveland, and then you got this red, black, and green flag, and like I said again, the guy that was wearing the machine gun, the AR-15 or the M16, I seen him from somewhere, and I was trying to figure out where did I see him from, you know what I mean? And I know it wasn't this because, like you see the red, black, and green, this looked like some played out Black Panther Party shit at a time when the government is scrutinizing and watching everybody so much more closely. Like I said, it just seemed funny to me. It says New Era Cleveland programs, elite security, financial literacy, hood to hood, hot meals, mental wealth, Shashan's ride, youth mentorship, much more. So, like I said, whatever, and then he got everybody throwing up the bail fist, like Donald Trump. So I find that funny, you know what I mean? I know you can't probably see this, but they throwing up the bail fist. See it now? Like Trump, after he supposed to got shot at. So, I just took it like, damn, that's deep, So, just be mindful of the times we living in. You know, and it made me immediately think of Second Ezra chapter 15, and it reads, starting at 14 again, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And you read Matthew chapter 24, it talks about nation against nation, and you know, you already got people fighting against people. You know, you got insurrection going on in the UK, you got them going on in Bangladesh, you got them going on here to a degree. You got, they just not being really broadcasted. You got them going on in Nigeria. You know, all around the world, you got uprisings because of the conditions of the world, the unfair treatment, and, you know, because it's the will of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, people going against the government. You know, people going against authoritarian rule, against the authorities, those set up in power. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. So that they're going to be going in and out of each other's, you know, people are going to be attacking and I mean, like when you go into that word invade, of an armed force or its commander to enter. So people are going to be entering other countries, entering people's homes, entering each other's lands. So as to subjugate or occupy it. So people are going to be going into people's homes trying to subjugate the people that lives within it. So if you got a household and the Lord not pleased with you, and you got a household with children and a wife, you know, they're going to enter and try to, you know, like the elder Malcolm from Chicago always says. He always speaks on those marauders, being trained with special skills. That's going to be entering homes to take what you have. It says, in invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And that's what we're coming into these times. Out of desperation, people are going to be going into each other's homes, trying to occupy and enter and occupy what you have. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So because of the lack of food, like right now, like I said, they talking about we might not have power till next week. You know how many people, like, and I'm in a poor neighborhood, you know how many people is about to lose food at a time where people are struggling right now? You know, again, like I got, you know, the means to go buy ice to try to keep the food, preserve the food. You know, I got a tool that can actually like restore power for a moment. You know, the Lord, you know, but like I said again, I know I probably wouldn't have thought like that had I not been in the truth and the Lord hadn't opened my eyes to certain things, been around certain brothers and whatnot. You know, because I mean, like I remember when the second day of this shit, I come home from work and it's a guy down the street. Him and his buddies, like, this is the house that got like everybody he know everybody, he watching everything, and everybody know them. They got like 10 fucking bottles, and it's like 20 niggas out on the porch, and I'm like, we ain't got no power, but they about to get drunk. So what you gonna do after you drunk? Like, you know what I mean? The stores is closed around here, and that's a Jake mindset. You're not even thinking. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the tribulation. You know, people trying to escape the pain of now by any means, from getting high, drunk, whatever, but you still gonna have to deal with that reality. What happens, you know, the liquor store next to us, it's a liquor store right around the corner where I stay, and they're not open because they don't have no power. You know, it's funny, all the liquor stores in the hood are not open. You know, that's why I said, like, they saying that the most devastated areas are, you know, the suburbs or whatnot, but why would you actually have somebody, because my neighbor, she's an older woman, she was like, she saw, you know, them working on one area of our street and another area, but usually, like I said again, they work until they restore the power. They don't just work here or there. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I said again, this seems systematic to me. But with that being said, I just felt through the spirit that needed to come out because, you got a lot of stuff going on. You got, and the Lord pretty much did that. But it's also showing you what these other nations think of you. You didn't know the Palestinians thought you was niggas. They just want you to spend your money with them. It tells you in the book of Psalms chapter 83, it's a confederacy of nations that's against you. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, or Haitians. That's why, you particular tribes pretty much are all, no matter where you're at, are all treated the same. You're all shunned upon. You're all considered bywords, And that's to always amaze me about like Arabs. We call them Arabs, them sand niggas, I always found it amazing because now don't get me wrong, some of them is Jake, you know what I mean? Like I grew up where I grew up at, it was they had a grocery store, and I'll never forget, like them was Jake, you know what I mean? They just, they had that grocery store there for years, and grocery store was named Coney's, and like just you could tell like they fucked with Jake, they was putting Jake on, because Ishmael good for copping shit and then having niggas move it for him, you know what I mean? And a nigga, nigga so lost. He just want to be, he want to fit in, and be able to get some money. Scriptures talk about in the book of Jeremiah why thou trimmest thy ways to seek love, and that's Jake is good for doing that. Jake will look past and forget that these people was the same people that did this and did that, But saying all that to say this, the Lord is rousing everything up, And like I said, I just found that, And then again, like I say again, like they talk about, elite security. So that's why the guy was strapped. Financial literacy, hood to hood. You know what I mean? Like a little movement, New Era Cleveland. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, these people that start organizations like that, they know something that you don't. You know what I mean? Because they invested in this fucking system. Like I said, again, I found that funny. I was drinking yesterday, so I didn't even see, the image. But they all throwing up the bail fist. That ain't even the black power fist. That's the bail fist. Go look it up. So I'm gonna end and listen with that. Just we in some very spiritual times. Troublesome, but wonderful and beautiful. Like a brother did a video. He said it's beautiful, or to sit back and watch the Lord work. These people are really fucked up. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I'm gonna end the lesson. If you're so-called black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of your power, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to God, loyal, by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, by Hashem, double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, teaching, do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth from faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua, the listening and learning, Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson, say shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharala.